camp coming up here in about a week and a half. How are you feeling with where your team is and everything heading into that?
Well, we finished our fourth quarter phase, which signifies it's on us now. And the fourth quarter really started kind of that Monday after July 4th, and took us all the way up till Wednesday, usually yesterday. And kind of that final transformation, that final push, that final finish. And it's all about the finish, and that's what we preach to our guys in that fourth quarter. Guys are excited. They'll step back this week and do workouts on their own, and kind of more or less just kind of get ready to go for that final push for the season to get going. And that's guys will report on the 2nd. We'll have a big weigh-in that day, and August 3rd will be our first day of practice. So coaches are back. It's all about ball right now. We're getting practice scripts ready, getting installs ready. This is the fun time. This is a lot of anticipation leading up to this season. So we're excited.
Well, what's your gut feeling just going into this season?
Yeah, I love where we are right now. I do. There's not too many people giving us a chance, and that's okay. When you look at the past, and you look at basing things off of that, I understand. But the thing that everybody doesn't understand is how hard these guys have been working, what they've had to endure since December to get to this point. And so I love where we're at. We're laying in the weeds, and that's a great spot to be right now. And so, but this team is hungry and they're excited.
What are just some of the big things you want to address, maybe in terms of position battles, things like that, early in fall camp?
Well, we want to find our best 11 on both sides of the ball. That's very important to us. Find our best 11, and or the 11 best that are going to step out on that field, and then find the next 11. So be able to create that depth as we come out of fall camp, and create competition at all positions, not just a quarterback. I know everybody wants to talk about the quarterback, but we're going to have competition at all positions, and that's what we're after, and that's what we need.
Yeah, go ahead. In terms of quarterback, is there kind of like a checklist or something like that you want to address in terms of figuring out, okay, who's going to be your starting quarterback?
Well, it's really all about moving the chains, and who gives us the best chance to win, the ability to string good days together, not just have a good practice and be up and down. We're looking for consistency, and we feel like we've got a great battle going on right now, and so we'll see how it goes.
Can you kind of break that situation down, where each guy sort of stands with you right now, or what you've seen from each?
Well, really, it's when you talk about obviously Tyler, or you got Dalton, and you got Ty and Cole, and those guys. It's really kind of hard to go through and outside of, because we only had them for 15 practices. Dalton brings something, Ty brings something, Cole brings something. They all bring something a little bit different to the table, but through 15 practices. But my challenge to those guys was, once practice, spring ball finished, the real development of a quarterback and a team is from the end of spring ball to the start of fall camp, and what you do in the summer months, and what you do in the final push of that of the spring semester, and leading into June and July. So I'm excited. I'm really excited to watch the progress that they've made. But each one brings obviously different tactics. Each one brings some different strengths to the table, and obviously you got some freshmen that are there as well. So it's we'll see how it goes.
Is there an area that you feel like you guys are kind of being overlooked or underrated? You feel like there's some surprises that you guys have in store for?
Really, I try not to focus so much on that, as opposed to what where we are coming out of spring football. And then what needed to happen between the progression, the transformation through the summer months, quarter 3 and quarter 4, and knowing the areas that we feel like we got to improve in. That's really more so what we feel like we got to improve in, and an area we feel like we've got some depth in, and I think we've got an opportunity in our defensive line to create some depth there. Offensive line is an area that we're having to cross train, and so that's. That's an area that you wish you had enough depth there. We don't. We're a little bit under in our scholarship total. So that's something that's really going to be a focus for fall camp coming out of, and making sure we create that depth.
In terms of recruiting, how do you feel like your big weekend coming up on the recruiting side of things? How do you feel your first off season has gone on the trail?
Well, I think we're definitely on track. I think we've made made a lot of noise getting our brand out there and showing that, man, the opportunities that can happen here at the University of Arkansas, opportunities for guys to be able to come in and make contributions and contribute quickly. So I think we're well on track, and it's a big weekend. We're excited about the weekend we have.
I'll ask one about recruiting there. Is when we saw the first December signing period, the belief was that it was going to really penalize schools maybe that made a coaching change. How hard was that to come in and not even have 2 months? Really, it'd already be signing day basically when you get the job.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have a change, it's always difficult, and it really added the difficulty of it because it was the first year of the early signing period, and so you're going into guys' houses and schools and trying to build a 2-year relationship in 20 minutes, and that's really hard to do. And so really commend the guys that signed with us and stuck with us that December 20th signing period. And they're kind of the frontiers of this whole thing because they believed in our vision. And then we came in and signed the next group in February, so we had a chance a little bit longer to build that relationship. So I'm excited. Did I like it at the time? Absolutely not. It was bad through a coaching change to be able to come in and try to do that with early signing period. But now having a year underneath our belt, the relationships that we've built where we are in recruiting right now, I think that December 19th signing period is going to be really good for us.
I think on the outside looking in, this may not be accurate, but the outside looking in may have questioned how well personnel fit from the last staff 2 years on the offensive side of the ball. Did you have those concerns, or maybe it end up a better match than maybe what you thought it would be going in?
Well, I'm excited about our guys. I really am, and excited about the personnel that we have. Excited about the opportunity these young men have, and they understand the impact that their actions and their what we put out on game day affects so many households in our state. They understand that. They've had to live with last year's results, and no matter who the coach is, 4-8 is unacceptable. They understand that, and so to be able to build off of that and to put forth the work that they've had to do it's been impressive to watch them.
How have, just being in Northeast Arkansas, how have your relationships gone with the coaches and players in this area?
Well, it's been great. Obviously, the coaches in our state have welcomed us with open arms. It's been remarkable. I knew a lot of them through previous stops and recruiting, and so to come back in and rekindle those relationships and allow our open door policy during the spring to get the high school coaches in. I think we had close to 1,000 high school coaches coming in and visiting with us and watching practice during the course of spring football, which was great. I had an opportunity today to speak in front of about 500 and then 2,500 the other day. And so, getting our message out to high school coaches is impactful because for us to get this program turned around, our footprint in recruiting, we've got to win our state. Yeah, that's first and foremost, and we understand that. And regardless to the number of Division I players that come out of the state, we've got to be able to win that state in recruiting and then, use our footprint into Memphis and Tulsa and into Texas and Louisiana that we have in Missouri, and so we've got a great staff. They're full speed ahead, and it's all about football right now and getting this thing right.
For fans that haven't seen your teams play at SMU, can you just kind of describe the style that you'll bring and what you're going to do at Arkansas? Yeah,
I just think when you look at what we've done, our previous stops, not just SMU, but our previous stops, I think we've been a very exciting brand of football, offensive football, very aggressive on defense, and you got to disrupt the passer. But offensively, we feel changing the tempo of the game, going fast, slowing it down, speeding it back up. Everybody talks about tempo being a very fast all the time. No. Tempo is the ability to change the pace of play in a game, and going fast, that's what we base out of, but being able to change and keep defensive coordinators off balance. And so I think you're going to see that. You're going to see a team that's a run-oriented, play-action shot football team.
Talk about tempo. How much does that affect your defense?
Well, I think that the way we practice, it's, the way college football is nowadays, I mean, you see tempo for the most part a lot. And so I think what it does, if it does anything, is conditions our defense the way we practice. If you can play and line up against us, then you can anybody in the country. But I think in the course of a game, if you have to be smart. That's if you're having a series of 3 and outs and your defense has been on the field quite a bit, then the tempo, you need to change your tempo of the game a little bit to get those guys a little bit of a break.
And you're sitting here in the opposite corner of the state, about 30 minutes away from another D1 school, but there's not really a shortage of Hog fans here. What does that say about the fan base and the program?
Well, I just think it just shows, since I've been here in December, traveling the entire state and all corners of this state, it just shows the passion level for the Hogs. And we're excited, and we understand. We impact the households in this state, and the living rooms, the dinner tables, the parks, the garages that people gather and visit and talk about the Razorbacks, and we understand that. And but the level of passion for our fans have been incredible, and have been extremely impressed by their passion level.
Coach, beyond wins and losses, how do you measure progress in year one?
I just think if we're able to give our absolute best, you're going to see a great product out there. It's going to be, as we talk about to our players, our staff, and just our standard at the University of Arkansas is best, whatever our best is. And so to be able to get up every day and to go to work and put good days on top of good days is what this whole thing's about. And when you do that, the results will take care of themselves.
Can you make any promises or guarantees this
No,
season?
If I could, I probably wouldn't say it anyways, because I want people to come out to the games and watch. And but no, I can. Here's what I can promise: that these guys are extremely dedicated and worked extremely hard to get to where we are today, and we're really excited about what's ahead for this program.